Charter Local Edition, Brad Pomerance here in the San Gabriel Valley, and we are joined by Ed Rendon. He is the chairman of the San Gabriel Valley Civic Alliance, joined by Maria Kennedy, an advisory board member of that organization. We start with you, Ed. Tell us about the organization. What does it do?
Well, thanks, Brett, for having us on again. We're really glad to be on board because, as you know, we're a regional group.
Right.
We're in our 6th year of existence.
Wow.
And I don't know where the time went.
Right.
Maria was there in the beginning when we started this group, and we endeavored to bring the leaders of all these areas of government, business, labor, education, community, all in a nonpartisan environment to talk about the solutions of the day.
And what's stunning about the San Gabriel Valley, over 2 million people live here. That's bigger than some states.
Right.
So you got a lot of people in which you serve.
Right, and what we found from all those various sectors is the disconnect. And in water districts, in business and labor relations,
Right.
we found as we went on, as we gathered people together in the room to go over the regional issues of the day, what was missing, and the missing link was connectivity. And
Right.
you would assume in an area of 44 cities out of LA County's 88, that wouldn't be possible, but it was, and there was a vacuum, and we see as a group to fill that vacuum with networking.
And let's talk, Maria, about water, because you are looking at an issue which has caused fear and consternation amongst those 88 cities which you mentioned, as well as the county, because we now have I guess it's an ordinance, a law, it's called MS4, which requires jurisdictions to capture stormwater instead of letting that stormwater go out to sea.
Yes.
What can you tell us about MS4?
Well, it stems from the Clean Water Act, which is a federal statute, and it's not something that's scary. I think it provides cities and the county and school districts a way of collaborating. And the reason I mentioned school districts, because in highly urbanized areas such as Los Angeles County, that's the last area that you have big swaths of open space.
And let's explain from what you speak. What you're hoping to do is work with those various levels of government so that these large, let's say, football fields, baseball fields, tracks, on school campuses can be used to capture stormwater and then percolate into the groundwater system.
Yes.
Explain how that would work.
Well, first of all, you need to look at the hydrology. So that's why we bring in the engineers.
Right.
And we bring in the geologists. So for example, at Bassett Unified School District,
In La Puente,
we are looking to capture stormwater. So this summer, the County of Los Angeles is going to be doing some soil sampling to make sure that the land percolates properly.
So at Bassett, they have a large football field.
Yes.
And so the vision is to use that football field to allow for stormwater to be brought in and then percolate into the aquifer. How would it work? Assuming the soil samples go well.
Well, the water then percolates into the ground, and that's less runoff that goes into the nearby tributaries of the San Gabriel River.
But I understand, though, that you need some systems to bring the water to that football field. How would that work?
Well, the water will flow through the storm drains.
And then what happens?
It goes they're channeled into the percolation pond or the cistern or whatever the engineers put into the ground.
And that's the key. Explain that, because we will have to dig up the football field, but
Yes.
don't worry, it's not going away. Explain how that works.
Well, the football field will be dug up, and the engineers will design a system that will divert and capture the stormwater to the site that they feel is the most appropriate. Then the football field will be put back into place, so you won't really be able to see the structure. But one of the things that is part of the plan is then we will create more green space at the school so that way the students are able to have a more green environment which is conducive to learning.
And the green space would come from?
Trees.
Because of what you've done, you're
Yes,
able to
we're
add.
We're going to enhance the
Right.
landscape, so we won't just put turf back.
Right. So Ed, I understand though that it wouldn't just be La Puente and Bassett Unified that could participate in this example. How could other jurisdictions get involved?
Well, as Maria has explained in detail, this is a model. It's a
Right.
model that is getting a lot of traction. She spends a lot of time in Sacramento.
Right.
She's dealing with this issue every day, and she's had a lot of success. So we're endeavoring as an organization to promote this model.
But let's presume that the Bassett model moves forward. I would, as I understand it, the cities that are near La Puente could have their water flowing into that system. Is that right?
That's possible, but that's why you need the engineers, because we have to make sure that the flows are correct.
But presuming it all works out, I guess what I'm trying to get at is it's not as if only that immediate geography can benefit.
That's correct.
You know-
The region will
Right.
benefit because under the MS4 permit, they have to build structures that will capture stormwater. So my hope is by having this regional project that the different agencies, the County of Los Angeles, we hope that the LA County Sanitation District gets involved, the cities get involved, the school district is the lead agency, and through this collaborative process, we create a model that we can then implement statewide, because the state is looking at different ways of involving the schools.
So do you need to get enabling legislation in Sacramento to allow this?
No.
So this can happen.
Yes.
This is more of a geology issue, an engineering issue. But Ed, from where is the funding coming?
Well, that's the big question. And cities have said that they're not getting enough from the county. So there's a lot of issues out there in terms of funding. That's why what we're building up to this summer is to
Right.
have our third annual Water Resource Conference, which Maria has facilitated for 3 years. And this year specifically will be on MS4. And this is bold, and this is what our organization was set up to do, is to take on something very bold. People have been talking to us saying, looking at us like, this is
crazy.
wild.
Right.
This is
This
crazy.
is craziness.
But guess what, Brad? We have to do this. This
Right.
is not some option. These cities need to do this. And as
Right.
far as this drought, so we're going bold and we're going big, and we're really proud of Maria and her work that she does for us.
So Maria, let's presume that on January 1st, all the soil samples have come back and it looks like we're a go for the
Yes.
Bassett project.
Yes.
How long would it take, presuming no glitches, for that system to be in place? Do we know?
Well, it'll depend on the funding.
Right.
If we secure the
Yeah,
funding,
but presume everything's ready to go
Well,
January 1.
I would say within a year it'd be
So
up and running.
it's that quickly. I mean,
Well-
you can construct it that quickly.
Yes, because we would have engineers design
Right, it's all-
the
yeah.
facility. Construction companies will build it.
Ready to go.
This is not a brand new process. I'm
Right.
not inventing anything.
Okay.
This is something that's very easily done. I think the challenge is getting the funding. So that's why I spend so much time in Sacramento working with the state board, looking at funding options. Also, there's Proposition 1.
Right, I was going to ask, can any Prop $1, which was the water bond passed in 2014, flow, if I can use that cliche, to your projects?
Yes, and we will be actively pursuing Proposition 1 funding through the State Water Resources Control Board.
Any federal monies possible?
There may be some state revolving fund money. I have to look at that
Right.
option. There is a program through the state board that I am going to be applying through where
Right.
it's a greening funding
Right.
through the Clean Water State Revolving Fund.
What about the water districts? Can they provide funds for this?
We are going to be partnering with them. So
Okay.
the idea is to get as many stakeholders involved in this project so that way we all share the burden, but we also all reap the rewards.
Ed, this is huge. I mean, this
Right.
really could be revolutionary.
It's exciting, and again, as I mentioned, it's what we were designed to do, because people
Right.
always looked at us as you're such a vast, diverse group.
Right.
But we've always been focused on regional
But talk
issues.
about putting business and labor together.
Right.
I mean, you can have, jobs that pay well, that are consistent. I mean, if you do this at Bassett and it works, you could go all over the place and start building these projects. And what a great way for business and labor to come together
Absolutely.
for the benefit of all. I want to thank you both for joining us. Will you come back after the conference? I want to hear how it went.
Yes.
That'd be great. Her
Thank
name
you.
is Maria Kennedy. She is an advisory board member with the San Gabriel Valley Civic Alliance. He's Ed Rendon. He is the chairman of that group. My name is Brad Pomerance, and this is Charter Local Edition.